This is David Wheaton. The following is a TCW short take, a bite-sized highlight from the Christian Worldview radio program. You can hear the full program at thechristianworldview.org. What exactly is an oligarchic technocracy? Sounds like a big word. Can you define that for us?
Technocracy is really an ideology. It's a way of thinking about governance. And so over the last few hundred years, especially in the Western world, we've kind of come to accept as the norm that people ought to have some involvement in the government, that we ought to have, at the very least, some form of elected representation, some sort of constitution, and at least some sort of public participation in the policymaking process, in the governance process. Well, technocracy rejects that idea out of hand. People are dumb. People don't know what they need. People don't know what they want. If you leave them to their own devices, they'll do incredibly dumb things. And so the technocracy movement was born almost a century ago at Columbia University. And the thinking was, rather than having self-government or representative government or a constitutional republic, we need to move toward a model where the experts, the people who really know what they're doing, make all these kinds of decisions. And today we call them technocrats, right? The scientists, the engineers. And back then, the argument was really efficiency. This whole free market thing is not very efficient. Think about how many resources are being wasted by people on silly things that nobody really needs and silly business ideas that are going to fail. Wouldn't it be better if these super experts who've been trained and are very competent in their field, wouldn't it be better if they made all the decisions? And of course, there are more people who believe that today than the amount of people who believed that in the 1930s, without any question. And now, when you add oligarchy to it, what you're really talking about here is a small group of individuals guiding this whole process. And so in some ways, you might even say we've already moved a little bit in that direction. If you read our Constitution, it says all legislative powers are in the hands of a Congress. They're vested in a Congress. And then it goes to describe the Congress, two houses, etc. Today, and anybody who knows anything about how the United States government works will tell you this, we have rule largely by administrative agency, largely by regulation. The vast majority of the policies that affect our lives are not coming from elected members of Congress who voted on these things. They're coming from unelected, appointed bureaucrats who are dreaming these regulations up. And we're talking thousands and thousands of pages of these on a constant basis, just a deluge of these. So we're moving in that direction, and there are very powerful people, including, I think, a lot of these tech bros, who think that is a superior model. So we see this very clearly now coming into view in the European Union, where the European Commission largely acts as the executive and the legislative branch. And if the technocrats are not exposed and stopped, I think they're going to continue making progress, eroding self-government, and moving toward this technocratic vision of governance.
This has been a short take from the Christian Worldview radio program. To hear the full program and connect with this nonprofit radio ministry, go to thechristianworldview.org. I'm David Wheaton.